Well, I really like to, I've collected baseball cards. I have over 1,000,
Wow.
over 2,000. Yeah, I have a lot. Some of them are really good baseball cards. Like, I think I have a Chipper Jones rookie card.
Wow.
Yeah. And some pretty other neat ones.
So that's good. And do you have any friends?
Oh yeah, I have quite a few friends. My best friend goes to school with me. I go to a Friday co-op. Other than that, I'm homeschooled. Yeah.
It's so nice to meet you.
This is Caden.
How old are you, Caden?
I'm 12.
12. You look a little older than that. You look great.
Thanks.
You're all nice and tall. And is this story about you?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And what's Mummy's name?
My name is Paige.
Paige. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah.
And you live here in, did you say
We
Chattanooga?
live right across the line in Georgia. So, but we come to Chattanooga all the time. My parents live here, so we're kind of on the state line.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
We're just a few
here.
houses down.
We are.
Well,
So,
it's really wonderful to meet you both.
thank you so much.
And so, who's going to tell the story?
I will. Caden was born in 2004, and his birth was a little complicated, but nothing out of it. I mean, he had jaundice. My first son had jaundice. I didn't think anything about it. And as an infant, he trucked along. He had some digestive issues. He did have to be put on a special formula. I couldn't breastfeed the way that I had hoped.
Do you think, and that's interesting because I had that, and I think back to that. Do you think if we'd been given a chance, we might have, I don't know about you, but my midwife was, oh, you clearly can't do it. Here's a bottle, here's a child.
Yeah,
and it makes you feel useless.
It did. It was a bit, and I think some of that was I was a young mom, and some of it was my own, naive. It could have been done probably maybe by trial and error of the diet, but I was made to think it would have been very, very difficult for me to give him what he needed, so that it was better to just put him on the special formula, which my pediatrician described as liquid gold because it was super, super expensive. Fortunately, he didn't have to be on that until he was, it was, I think, right at about 6 months he was on that, and then we were able to switch him to soy-based. But everything trucked along, and at about 18 months old, between 18 months and 2 years old.
So before that, everything was just fine?
Everything was okay. I mean, he had reflux. It wasn't as bad as his brother. His brother had horrible reflux.
So sickly, but mentally fine.
Mentally fine. And I mean, other than, those kinds of things, which now I know he shouldn't have dealt with those things. But other than that, he was healthy. And as far as the way that he connected with me and my husband, everything was normal. He made eye contact, and it was fine. He spoke when he was supposed to. He walked when he was supposed to. And it was great. Between 18 months and 2 years old, we started to notice he wasn't making eye contact like he had been. It was kind of strange, but we thought, is this just him being defiant? Maybe it's just the terrible threes hitting early or the terrible twos hitting early.
Hang on a second. What's that noise?
Must be somebody's
Oh,
phone.
sorry, that's Billy. It's Billy calling.
Toby. Oh,
It's
yeah.
Billy.
Okay, what do I do?
Can you answer it and see if he's okay? Billy's freaking out, so I really apologise.
Bless him, it's okay.
We missed it. It's okay. No, yeah, press across.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Billy, are you okay?
Yes, because Daddy's getting mad. Daddy's getting stressed about it.
Bill, Daddy's just overtired, darling. You're going to be okay.
You know what? Daddy is going down to hell.
Daddy's not going to hell. Oh, no. Bill, listen.
Yes.
You need to give Dad a little bit of time. He's really, really tired. So why don't you go...
Daddy is going down to hell.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, drama's at home. Josh is going to have a little chat with you.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's speak to Josh a second while I finish this story.
Because I'm sorry, Mummy, but the VHS thing.
No, Josh's going to sort Billy out. Apologise
No,
because
it's fine.
he's been really stressed out today.
No, it's fine. So as things progressed from that point, we just noticed he wasn't, we could talk directly to him, and it would look like this. I mean, we would be here and he would look like this. It was as if we thought, well, he doesn't want to make eye contact. He doesn't want to, and nothing ever occurred to us. And so he was diagnosed at 8 years old with Asperger's, and sensory processing disorder. And but it was interesting because my mom said he's gotten worse as he's gotten older. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I realized when he was 5, we had to go to the health department to get vaccines, and they told me that he was behind. So they caught him up. And that's when it seemed like things got worse.
Well, do you know what they caught him up with?
I would have to pull his records to find out exactly.
It might be worth you finding out anyway.
It probably would. But, he's doing great now. We're really thankful. He's doing fabulous, and he's an amazing, amazing young man. He serves in our church as an usher, and he's faithful, and we're really pleased. And we know that while our story is one of many, it could have been worse, and it could have been different. And for that, we're thankful. But my reason for wanting to share my voice, and I don't do it easily. I get really afraid to tell people these things because I'm like, I don't know what they're going to think. Are they going to judge me? Are they going to, judge it? But, we were very upfront with him when he was diagnosed, and we told him, and he's been great, and he understands, and we've always told him what Temple Grandin said, and that was, you're different, but you're not less. And for a while, I always thought, as a part of our faith, we believe that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And whenever I was faced with the question, well, do you believe that he was born that way? I never really knew how to answer that. Because I thought, well, how do I explain that he either was or he wasn't, or how do I? And so when I recognized that there's a community of people that have gone through the same thing, I realized that we live in this world, but we're not of it. And because we live in this world, we are susceptible to things that happen. And sometimes those things happen at the hands of people that don't want to be honest about things, or that don't want to do things the right way, in the way that these vaccines have been handled. My sister and best friend has terminal cancer. That's not something that, that is just we have to deal with those things sometimes, and it's unfortunate. But so I believe that it's important for us to tell our voice, because they can say this isn't how it happened, there's no debt, they cannot deny your personal story. They can deny whatever else they want, but when you have voices come out and say, this is the events that happened to us, and this is the events that happened to us, they can't deny that. That's evidence they can't deny.
All right, we're going to carry this on. Josh, I'll get Bella.
Okay.
Come in. 1 second. Excuse me 1 second.
Bella? Is Bella out here?
I'll find her. You can finish. I got it.
Bells?
I'll get her. I got her.
But if Bells is good with Billy.
Okay,
And you,
yeah.
thank you so much. Bells, Bella's here. You got Bella. You need to keep him calm.
Bill.
Sorry, Josh, thank you very much.
You're fine.
I want to hear from you. That was wonderful. Thank you, Mike. How do you feel? You look amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
What are some of the things that maybe you struggle with?
Definitely like crowds, and I guess maybe I talk different to other people when I first meet them. Like, I don't process things as normal people do, I guess.
First of all, there is no such thing as normal people. And I think you speak beautifully. As for noise, that's very interesting. A lot of children that aren't injured as well talk about how they have noise issues as well. It's very, very common.
Yeah, I guess I have problems with like yes or no questions. I keep saying like I guess and stuff like that. That could just be me. But I really think that's one of the things I struggle with. But I think I'm doing pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I think you speak beautifully, and
Thank you.
He does.
you're a wonderful young man and a great advocate for others.
Thank
as
you.
well. So we so appreciate you guys telling. Now, did you sign the bus?
Yes, I did.
And do you know what number you are?
I'm 3,583.
That's a good number.
He's done beautifully.
Yeah, I can see that.
We're really thankful, and
Someone's sending you loads of baseballs. Look at that.
Yay!
So the baseballs. Oh, oops. There you go. You're getting hearts. But I like that. You've got
There you
a
go.
lot of baseballs
They
and
send in
hearts.
you all kinds
Yeah,
of
these people
baseballs.
love you. I think
That's
you're great,
awesome.
So I appreciate that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, more coming in. I mean, they're going to keep coming in
That's
now.
awesome. Well, we're very blessed, and I think
More
sometimes
baseballs, look.
Yay, Kaden!
That's funny.
Sometimes I think there's a lot of fear with people coming out and telling their story. I know I've dealt with that at times, and I think that's one of the reasons that I felt so strong about just sharing, is because we're overcomers when we tell our stories, and we're vaccinated. They're fully vaccinated. It's not, and I am not anti-vaccine. I just think that if we can put GMO labels on food, we should be able to be honest about what's in them and make them safe. And that's just my position. That's how we feel.
And what do you say to people? The question I was asked on the radio this morning. That say all the studies are done. You guys are all just looking for something to blame. So, what do you say to people like that?
If I wanted to blame anything, there would be a whole lot of other reasons to blame so many different things other than the actual vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I talked about before, there's people that ask, why was I made this way, or why did this happen to me? Sometimes we are a product of our environment, and sometimes we're a product of things that are done to us. And I don't blame God or anything else, but I do think that it's not about blame. It's about responsibility. There's not anybody taking responsibility for what is being done with these vaccines. Everybody wants to pass the buck. So that's just kind of how I...
Well, you guys, are fantastic.
Thank you.
Mommy, thanks for telling the story so
Thank
well.
you
We
very
really
much.
so appreciate hearing
Yes.
from you. I think you've got a very bright, rosy future ahead of you.
He's a
Thank
straight
you.
A student.
You don't
He
know what I'm
is.
saying. We can see that.
He
What
is
would you
a-
like to be when you're older? If you could have the dream job, what would it be?
I really don't know. I mean, my grandma, she's been teaching me cooking classes, and so maybe as an option, I'd like to go to culinary school and be a cook.
Wonderful.
He would love to do that. He talks about that all the time.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
We need some good chefs.
Yes,
Always needed.
he's amazing.
Wonderful. You are both amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
very
telling
much.
the story.
We appreciate it.